1938. And at that time, if you got your draft call, you went the next day, you were either bounced or drafted. You didn't go home for a party or anything. And he was told that he didn't have to go because he had flat feet. And he was afraid of what his father would say if he didn't join. So he joined. First big mistake. And the man who came in who took his place was a future president.
Took his place in the theater.
In the
You hadn't
theater.
explained that.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was an actor on Broadway. Know any actors who became presidents?
Of
Ronald-
California.
Yeah.
Ronald Reagan.
Ronald
Yeah,
Reagan.
yeah. For governors and then
Yeah.
actors,
So,
yeah.
right, so Ronald stayed in Hollywood and did propaganda films and how to stay healthy and that sort of thing. And Jim went to the Philippines. He was in the death marches and all that. The day they got to the prison, he went to the head of the Allied section. He said, "I'm going to break out of here, but I need your help." And he said, I'm going to produce a group of actors who are, they don't speak, everything is done just in mime. And I'm going to have 6 people do it. And I want to know if I can get out of here by having you get the people to dig the tunnels. So they had to cooperate, because if they were caught, they killed something like 10 of the officers for one escapee. So they got approval from the Allied to go ahead and do it. And then they began digging the tunnel, and they had to get approval from the Japanese to have a program which would entertain not only prisoners, but the Japanese. They wanted language not to be an issue. So they wanted something funny, and that's what all this, that's what Jim was trying to build up, was this crew. So he had a crew of 6 Americans and about 12 Japanese soldiers who eventually were merged into the theater act. The whole idea was to get to a point where they trust you so much and enjoy the whole thing that they won't notice that there are no American actors on the stage, and where have they gone for the last half hour? And they're through the tunnels and gone. It took them 2.5 years to build the tunnels and get to a point where they could do it, and they pulled it off. They were all the executions went on as I expected. Everything was done, and the Japanese were not happy about it. We trusted you, we laughed at you, and look what you've done now.
Opportunists.
Yeah, it's like something out of The Sound of Music.
And then the 6 Americans then paired off into 3 groups and went into different villages, and they lived for 2.5 years, and they only lost 3 out of the 6. And we were just saying that the whole thing ended about, I would say 5 or 6 weeks. they gave up the Japanese surrender. Actually, at just about the time that Jim and several others died of malaria.
Mm.
So it was, we were talking about how difficult it was for the my grandparents, to be waiting for a news from them. And people would walk across the town with pictures of Time magazine of prisoners. Is this your son? And they just put up with it. So, at any rate,
What a,
just a family story.
yeah, no, I'm pleased to be able to
Yeah.
to participate in